Growing up, I lived with my mom. Never really knew my dad, and my mom had a lot of boyfriends coming in and out of the house. And one guy I really started to like, but for some reason or other, he didn't really like me that much. So when I would misbehave and stuff, he'd throw me in a scalding hot shower or like hit me with an extension cord, and just what he was doing was just made me just so angry, distraught. And being 8 years old, I told my first grade teacher that I wanted to kill myself because I didn't know really what else to do. Well, that struck up the attention of DCFS, and they took me out of my mom's home. I started being put in foster homes. I remember my first foster home, I was there for about 4 years, and it was this nice lady who was a choir director at the church. So that was kind of my first introduction to the gospel. But I didn't really understand it that much. And one of my foster homes was this young, newly married couple. They'd been married maybe like 3 months, and they took on a foster kid. And I just guess they couldn't handle me, or they didn't want me. So I remember sometime around like Christmas, them dropping me off on the organization's doorstep and pretty much said, "Here, this is your kid. You take care of him. He's your problem now." DCFS had no other choice but to put me in a group home. And this group home I was at had a chapel service because you pretty much had to go to chapel every Wednesday. And I just thought that at the chapel service, the speakers that would speak would talk about these big themes that just struck a chord with me. God being the father to the fatherless, God putting the broken in families, God grafting us into his family. It felt like God really wanted me, that though these people just kind of shoved me away on the doorstep, that though my mom just surrounded me with people that really didn't take care of me, that whoever this God guy was, he really wanted to take care of me and wanted to love me. I remember when my grandma died, that was kind of the first time that I really felt like alone. Like literally there was no one there. I remember crying on the bed and holding my Good News Bible, and I could just really feel God saying, you know, I love you. I'm never going to leave you or forsake you. I'm always with you. And that just struck a chord. I mean, when you've had people just coming in and out of your life like a revolving door, when somebody says, I'm never going to leave you or forsake you, you really feel loved and accepted and chosen. I never really came to know Jesus until I was 16. And I was a tough kid. I mean, there was a lot going on in my life, a lot of emotional baggage. And it wasn't until then that I really came to know that Jesus was all I needed. When I was 26, I came back in contact with my biological mom, and I didn't see her for over 13 years. Now, my mom's name is Denise Gail Palumbo, and my name is Alex James Lyons. And the reason why all that's important is because on my birth certificate, it's always said Denise Gail Lyons and John Daniel Lyons as my father. So when I met my mom, I said, "Mom, who's this John Daniel Lyons guy?" And she said, "Oh, I made that up because I didn't want you to be made fun of in school as an illegitimate kid." She changed my name from Palumbo to Lyons, but in reality, she started this whole new spiritual heritage. It makes me feel like through all of this, through everything that happened, that God had this plan to choose me, to set me apart and say, all things come together for good to those who love God and are called according to his purpose, for who he knew he also predestined. I feel like all the junk and everything that I went through in my life had to be because I loved God, and God chose me to do great things, to have a great family, to have a great legacy, to have children and great-grandchildren that love Jesus. And I'm just really thankful, and I don't know where that's going to lead, but I know that whatever God has for me, I'm going to choose to walk on that path.